So guys, while we're all buzzing about the Florian Wirtz news and how close we are to securing his signature, it's only natural that some of us are starting to wonder where exactly he fits into Arne Slot's team. Sure, Wirtz is one of the most exciting young talents in the world and his potential is through the roof. But talent alone isn't always enough. You can have a squad full of world-class players and still come up short if you don't know how to use them properly or bring out their best qualities. Thankfully, we've got a manager who's proven he knows how to do just that. We've already seen how the gaffer turned Mo Salah into a Ballon d'Or contender, helped Trent Alexander-Arnold get back to his best, and gave players like Gravenberch and Gakpo the platform to rediscover themselves. So in today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the different ways Arne Slot could use Florian Wirtz next season. And believe us when we say this, he might just be the answer to one of the biggest problems we usually face. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump straight into it. By now we all know that Florian Wirtz is an attacking midfielder. That means he likes to operate in central areas just behind the striker. So does that put him in direct competition with players like Dominik Szoboszlai or Alexis Mac Allister? Well, in some cases, especially when we're rotating or giving one of them a rest maybe, but not as a regular thing. We'll dig deeper into that later on in the video. For now, the big question is, where would he regularly play? When you look at his heat map from this past season, you'll notice that he doesn't just stay in the middle. He drifts into wider areas as well, with a noticeable preference for the left side of the pitch. That kind of movement gives us a clue into how Slot might use him differently depending on the game and the system. So while it's true that Wirtz prefers playing through the middle, to be more specific, he likes to operate in the left half space. That area is still considered part of the central channels, but it gives him more room to create and link up play on his stronger side. Now, this observation shines the spotlight on two players in particular, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo, our main options on the left wing. So does this mean Wirtz will be used as a left winger? That's definitely one possibility. Wirtz could start out wide on the left, and once we begin a possession sequence, he can drift inside and operate as a left-sided number 10. Meanwhile, Kerkez, who seems to be on his way to Anfield, can push higher up the pitch to hold the width. So does this put Gakpo at risk of losing his starting spot? Not exactly. In fact, if there's anyone who should be looking over their shoulder, it's Luis Diaz, assuming he stays with all the transfer rumours linking him to Barcelona. And here's why. This season, Diaz has actually played more often as a false 9 than as a traditional left winger. Whenever Gakpo was fit, he usually took up that wide left role, while Diaz shifted inside. He'd drop deeper to link up play, then explode into space with his usual energy and sharp movement. Just take a look at his position map from our final game of the season against Crystal Palace. You'll see that Diaz spent most of his time in central areas, especially the left half space, the exact zone where Wirtz tends to do his best work. Now, if Diaz stays and Wirtz comes in, and if Arne Slot decides to keep using a false 9 like he did this season, then there's no doubt Diaz will struggle to compete with Wirtz in that role. And the reason is simple, Diaz isn't naturally suited to playing in central spaces. Let's take a look at one example from the Palace game that makes this really clear. Here you can see Diaz occupying the left half space. When Van Dijk plays a switch out to Robertson, Diaz drops even deeper to receive the ball while facing the play. So far so good. In fact, that was a smart move and good positioning from him, but it's what happens next that shows why this role might not be ideal for him. Diaz had a chance to carry the ball forward into open space before it closed down, but he hesitated. Instead of driving forward, he paused. And while he eventually picked the right pass to find Gravenberch, who was making a great run from deep, he took too long to spot it and even longer to play it. It's small moments like these, those tiny delays, those fractions of a second, and the less than crisp execution of simple actions like a pass that can make all the difference when you are up against a well-organized low block. And this is exactly where Wirtz comes in. The German is arguably one of the best in the world when it comes to off-ball movement, and, more importantly, in-game intelligence. In the sequence on your screen, just look at how smart he is when it comes to recognizing space and positioning himself on his marker's blindside. Whether he's dropping deep or pushing higher up the pitch, Wirtz is always reading the play. He reacts not only to what his opponents are doing, but also to the intentions of his own teammates. He can read a teammate's body shape and instantly decide whether to drop short to receive the ball or make a run in behind. He's constantly scanning, checking his shoulders, reading the play in front of him. That awareness allows him to arrive in those open pockets of space at just the right moment. And when he receives the ball, he's already 1 or 2 steps ahead of his marker. If there's a runner heading into the box, he spots it right away. If there's no clear opportunity or the pass is too risky, he keeps it simple or holds onto the ball until something better opens up. It's this high football IQ, paired with his sharp technical ability, that makes Wirtz a potential cheat code against deep defensive blocks. When he gets into that left half space, facing the play, and on his stronger right foot, he becomes incredibly dangerous. He can glide through tight areas with his dribbling, thread-precise passes, link up quickly with teammates, or slide a ball through for someone making a run behind the line. He gives you options, control, and unpredictability, all in one player. Now, some people might have concerns about Wirtz's physicality, but in our humble opinion, he'll handle himself just fine. His close control is top class, and he knows how to use his body to shield the ball when he needs to. He plays with enough intensity both on and off the ball, and his timing when making runs in behind the defense is elite, to say the least. We've been making the case for Wirtz as a player who thrives in the left half space, but why are we putting so much emphasis on that area? It's because of how well he positions his body when receiving the ball there. He sets himself up in a way that allows him to shield the ball from defenders and either lay it off or burst forward in one smooth, fluid motion, just like we mentioned earlier. That kind of movement makes it really difficult for defenders to close him down effectively. Now, while Wirtz isn't limited by angles and can definitely operate in other areas, using him on the left side allows him to cut inside on his stronger right foot. That's a lot more dangerous than sticking him on the right. Plus, having him on the left helps balance the creative load across the pitch. With Salah doing his thing on the right, Wirtz could become the perfect creative force on the opposite side, giving us threats from both flanks. But is that the only position Wirtz can play? Absolutely not. One of the most exciting things about him is his versatility. Aside from operating in the left half space, Wirtz can also play centrally as a classic number 10, or even drop slightly deeper and function as an 8. If Liverpool continue with the 4-3-3 setup, Wirtz would likely be used in one of those midfield roles, basically the same position we've seen McAllister or Szoboszlai take up. In that case, Wirtz could rotate with McAllister on the left side of the midfield trio. Now, don't get us wrong, McAllister is a fantastic playmaker with a really balanced game. But Wirtz would bring something a bit different. He offers a more direct creative spark in the final third. Where McAllister often helps with build-up play and keeps things ticking over in midfield, Wirtz is the kind of player who looks to make things happen. He's more likely to attempt a killer pass, beat a man near the edge of the box, or force the issue in tight spaces. So if McAllister needs a rest, or if Slot wants a more attacking option against a low block, Wirtz could easily step in as the left-sided number 8 and give Liverpool a sharper edge going forward. What's even better is that McAllister is comfortable playing slightly deeper when needed, which creates space for Wirtz to push up. If they play together, McAllister can take on the deeper, controlling role, while Wirtz focuses on finding pockets higher up the pitch. Both players are excellent at finding space between the lines, so in certain games, especially against teams that sit back, they could absolutely work in tandem, one orchestrating the rhythm, the other applying pressure in the final third. As for Szoboszlai's position on the right, Wirtz could definitely fill in there when needed. He's shown he can play on either side of midfield, and since he's comfortable using both feet, he can adapt well to the right half space too. Szoboszlai brings energy, long-range shooting, and physicality to that role. Wirtz, on the other hand, offers something a little different, like more intricate link-up play in tight areas and subtle through balls instead of blasting shots from 25 yards out. That's not to say Wirtz isn't capable of scoring, because he absolutely is, but his instinct leans more toward creating chances for others, while Szoboszlai often looks to drive the team forward with powerful runs and shooting from distance. The good news is, Wirtz also has a high work rate. He's not afraid to press or track back, which makes him quite similar to Szoboszlai in terms of effort and engine. Both players have the kind of stamina and intensity needed in Liverpool's midfield. In games where Liverpool are expected to control possession and face deep compact defences, Wirtz might actually be the better choice. His creativity could help unlock stubborn backlines, but in matches that demand more athleticism and defensive effort across the pitch, Szoboszlai might be preferred for his box-to-box presence. The point is, having both gives Liverpool serious depth and flexibility. They can rotate without any real drop in quality. And it doesn't stop there. Wirtz also adds a new layer of tactical flexibility. While he can operate in the 4-3-3, he's naturally a number 10. So if Liverpool shift to a 4-2-3-1, Wirtz would thrive in the central attacking midfield role behind the striker. That's a position neither McAllister nor Szoboszlai specialises in, even though they're capable of playing there. Wirtz, on the other hand, is often described as one of the best young players in the world at operating between the lines, exactly where a true number 10 lives. Florian Wirtz isn't just a hype signing, guys. He's a player who could seriously transform our attack and give Arne Slot even more tools to work with, whether it's in the left half space as a number 10 or rotating with the likes of McAllister and Szoboszlai. Wirtz brings that extra bit of quality we've been missing in tight games. His intelligence, movement and creativity could be the key to breaking down stubborn low blocks and helping us dominate in the final third. But now we want to hear from you. Where do you see Wirtz fitting in best? Should he be a starter right away, or would you ease him into the team? And do you think his arrival could push someone like Diaz or even Gakpo out of the regular starting 11? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading and replying to as many as we can. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.